game show guy growing up? Because this vibe, and you guys are involved with like.
This is very like a '70s game show we kind of built around here. Yeah.
And Murr would be like a cheesy '70s host.
He is our game show host, right? Yeah, I don't know. Sal might be actually good. Sal's got the personality of one without the look of one.
Right.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Loose Change. It's your boy, The Show Off, and I'm back with some new content. So today, I wanted to take a minute to talk to y'all about the total mindset and the psychology of dating nowadays as compared to what it was back in the day. Back in the day, dating was supposed to be the foundation that sets you up for marriage. Nowadays, dating more so prepares you for it more so prepares you for divorce than to actually be married. And what I mean by that is, in these days and in these times now, we actually are we're more prone to give up on a relationship than to actually do what it takes to fight for a relationship to last. As a matter of fact, the things that we fight that would make us fight for a lasting relationship or fight for the relationship to be a lasting relationship really simply aren't that important. It just is what it is. Now, the general psychology of dating nowadays is what? It's basically, I don't care whether this is it or whatever the case may be. I'm just passing the time, so I'm going to date as many people as possible or whatever the case may be. I'm going to end it for the most basic shit in the world. And that's just the way that it is. That's the way that it's going to go, and that's the way that it's going to roll. Now, when you go through that process over and over and over again, you start to condition yourself to that process. What I mean by that is, you're used to ending, by the time you get to the point that you make it to getting married, you're used to ending your relationship over some bullshit. Right? The whole point of getting married, like, the same things that you may have thrown somebody out the door for when you were just boyfriend and girlfriend, there's supposed to be some level of patience and tolerance and understanding, words that we just typically don't use anymore in life. When it comes to anything really, but mostly when it comes to empathy and empathy is another word that we just don't use anymore. Some things are just not worth ending and saying that the time that you have invested in this person means nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, some time ago, basically the worst thing you could do to a person, and basically everything else you were able to tolerate and fight through, up to basically someone cheating on you. Now, relationship ends for the most fickle things because, again, when you're in the dating process, it tells you, boom, search for the perfect situation. If this person is not perfect, get rid of that person. If this person if they don't live like you, if they can't figure you out without you telling them, move on. That's what the dating psychology is. So by the time you get to the point of being married, now you feel like you have that you're trained and conditioned to get rid of someone rather than working it out and actually being with this person, because it's kind of an oxymoron if you really think about it. And if people don't know, I've used the word oxymoron. If you don't know what an oxymoron is, it's two words that don't go together because they mean opposite things. So marriage is supposed to be forever, hence the ring. The circle in the ring is a never-ending plane, and it means forever. That's the whole symbolism of the ring. While you worried about the diamond that is in the ring, the actual point of the ring is the circle in the ring. That's why the wedding ring, the actual wedding ring, is supposed to have no diamond in it. It's just supposed to be gold, silver, platinum, whatever the setting is, and that's the symbolism of the actual wedding ring. It's a never-ending plane. So if you have the mindset that it's supposed to end, you're disrespecting the whole thought process of marriage. Marriage is coming together, and whatever you go through is is not only your problem, but it's your partner's problem now. That's the whole concept of marriage. Forever. Alright? Now, a couple videos ago, I did the equally yoked video. In case y'all don't know, marriage is supposed to be the equally yoked thing, where everything that you have and everything that this person has comes together. Okay? What's the point of getting married if you're still going to continue living two separate lives? Okay, I got this going on, he has this going on. Boom. What's going to happen? You're going to move in different directions. And then you're going to end up doing what? See, you can live separate lives while you're living in different houses, this, that, and the third, and or whatever the case may be. But once you make the decision to take your relationship to the next step, then all of that shit's supposed to go out the door where you live in separate lives. It's the main reason that our relationships don't work. It's because, like I told y'all, like my videos always, and I don't try to do this, it's just my videos always tie into one another. I see a subject, like this video comes off of something that I saw off another video, of someone else's video. And it just so happens to tie into what I've talked about recently. Now, the point that I'm making is, what's the point of getting involved with someone if the only thing you know is this is only temporary? What's the point in getting involved with someone that you're going to want to live a separate life with? And the main reason that most people don't want to live separate lives while they're in relationships with people and when they're trying to get married and all of this stuff is because you simply don't trust that person. You know why you don't trust that person? Because recently I saw a bunch of people start posting that if a man doesn't marry you within 3 years, he doesn't want to be with you. Here's the thing. First of all, stop trying to put everybody into a box. Alright? It might take... Now, when it gets to a ridiculous... Like, you've been together 11 years and you don't have a ring on your finger and stuff, then you might want to think like that. But if we're talking about 3 years, here's the thing. Most people who get married nowadays are only together for 2 years before they get married. Sounds like it's not that big of a deal, right? Until you figure it out from this perspective. You go from dating to deciding that you are in a relationship to being engaged to being married in the span of 2 years. That's four different aspects, four different levels. And with every level, more of the real person that you're with comes out, all right? So now you're going through four different extremes with this person, all right? Different extremes come when you have different situations, and as the extremes change, there's a shock value of going from dating a person to being married to a person in less than 2 years. The shock value is greater than if you are dating someone and you get to go through all of these extremes in even 3 years or 4 years or whatever the case may be. Meaning, in 2 years, your basic shock value that changes every time you step up to the next level. Every time you step up to the next level, you start to see more of the real person or whatever the case may be. Now, you might even throw in moving in together. at the same time. Now the way that marriage is really supposed to work is you're not supposed to move in with each other, have sex with each other, whatever the case may be, until you get married. However, most people don't live like that, so we're gonna knock that out. Most people move in together before, so that's almost like saying there's a fifth extreme. But we're gonna leave that out for the purposes of whatever. So you're basically moving up just about every 3-4 months from one extreme to the next extreme. All right. So now little things, even the smallest of things, when you compile those things up and then you move into a situation where you see those things every single day and you're married to this person and you have no tolerance for that shit because now it's all there at the same time. All right? And you've never had to deal with that from this person. A lot of times you find yourself compromising what you actually want because you wanted this relationship to work based off of things that you saw in the beginning. So now you ignored all of these small things that were already there, but you chose to ignore them and they wasn't that big of a deal. But then once you move into that relationship and you move into that engagement and then you get married within 2 years, now all of those things come into existence and you don't know how to deal with each one of these things because now it's just a compilation of things. Now, I will say this with this video. Let the finger pointing begin because these are societal standards, okay? These are things just like when I say that people start saying, well, if someone doesn't marry you, these are the standards and the expectations and the stipulations that are placed on people by societal standards, okay? Now, who creates the marketplace for a man? That would be women. Who creates the marketplace? The dating marketplace, I should say. The dating marketplace for men is created by women. Who creates the dating marketplace for women? Women. But if I say this, society is a compilation of men and women. That's our sociological, your pets have nothing to do with what you are sociologically. It's men and women and how we deal with each other. That means the way that we got here is because of the way that we got to the point where we are sociologically is because of the things that men and women do and how we interact with each other. All right? So we all own our part in this whole thing. Now, I could say this and then everyone is ready to point their finger at the men. Here's the thing. I've said this in many of my videos before. Ending a relationship is kind of at the woman's discretion. A man is, as long as a man feel like he can fuck with you, he's not going to give up on you. In most cases. Unless you just do some horrible shit to him. Like, he's going to continue to fuck with you as long as y'all might not be in a relationship, but he's going to continue to fuck with you until he feels like it's over. That's her walking away. When she decides to stop answering his phone call or whatever the case may be, which is a lot of the reason that a lot of women are really upset with men is because they keep letting us in. After you found out that that particular man doesn't work for you, you get lonely or whatever the case may be, you go back fucking with your ex, something that didn't work in the first place. So you kind of call the shot when a relationship actually ends. So this isn't, when I say society, this isn't meant to put it on one or the other. See, there's two sides of every story. And that's why I started this whole platform. I started this platform because we are acknowledging, a lot of us men are already acknowledging and willing to acknowledge who we are, but now we're telling you why we are that way. All right? A lot of women are telling, like, a lot of men are coming out and telling you that you're still asking us to be traditional by talking about providing and talking about protecting you and this, that, and the third. But while you're doing that, you're also telling us that you are equal or better than men, that you're asking to sacrifice themselves, sacrifice their lives, sacrifice their own mental sanity for you. So if you're equal and you're this and you're that, why do you need my protection? And what do you do? What do you bring to the table in order for you to deserve that? That's why guys are asking these questions, like, what do you bring to the table? What can you add to his life? And which I've already explained to you. If you watch my videos, I've already explained to you that we're not asking you how much money you have or what kind of job you got or whatever. When you think that you're doing your thing and you think that a man is disinterested or whatever the case may be, and you doing your thing and what he is, when you're sending pictures of how your business is going and you're sending videos and you're always talking about your business, and he seems disinterested, he is. You know why? Because it doesn't. I've told y'all this in the last few videos I've done. It's of no consequence to him. It's not like he don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still going to ask him to be traditional and to hold you down. No matter who you are, you're going to ask him to be traditional. But traditionally, the man went out and the woman stayed in, and you're not that anymore. So the components that you're asking him to be don't fit with the components that you have now. Because you got the mindset of wanting to be a bad bitch, boss, all of those things. And it's not conducive to a man actually going out and doing all of these things. So adjustment needs to happen on both sides. Men are, you're not a provider? Okay. See, even if I'm only bringing 50% to the table, I'm providing something to make it easier on you. I'm still a provider. But that's not good enough for most women. In other words, she can be in a situation where she wants to come up and be set for her next situation while he's doing everything he can to keep up, to live life for the future for them. She's setting up for the next move. And that's all simply, that's it. That's pretty much it. So in closing, what I wanted to say is relationships now only teach you how to get out. It teaches you that you should have no patience, no tolerance, no understanding for a person. So, in other words, you should only be considerate of what you want. How often do we talk about what men want? Since people won't want to point the fingers when I say what I say about society. Society has driven us to not train ourselves to be married, but rather to train ourselves to prepare ourselves for divorce. How many women are going to come out and say, well, men are this and men don't do this anymore and they don't do that anymore? How often do we talk about what makes the man happy anymore? We don't. That's not a topic of the conversation, because you can actually tell me what it is that you think that I should be. But if I tell you what I think you should be, and now I'm emotional, I'm a beggar, I'm asking for too much, whatever the case may be, and however you want to put it. And that's just what life is. I hope everybody have a blessed day. I hope you understand what I was saying. This video ran way longer than I expected it to, but I hope everyone enjoyed it. Show.